One last thing I wanted to talk about was what happens when you want to maybe make some changes to the font that you're working in, if you want to use one of these tools on the side on your font. So I've just changed in the demo that we were working in the text at the top here to be Winter Festival, and we were talking about maybe like having the edge of the font be a little bit faded. So looking a little bit again at kind of using that feathering as a way of erasing something. Now you can see I'm on the text font, on the text layer rather, and that it's got this little T, and that tells me that this is a text layer, not an image layer. It's not rasterized. Remember we talked about the fact that Photoshop is a raster image format. So it basically has a grid that it's made up, and when we see this at 100%, it has assigned a image color value to every single pixel that you see in here. So the same is true of pretty much everything inside of Photoshop. But when you're working with text, what it will do is it will kind of not commit these this rasterization until you're done. So when it's a text layer, it knows that it's a text layer, and it's still kind of referencing the font in your computer. So one of the things that you can do though is, so if you want to erase, it's not going to let you, because it says, well, this isn't the same thing as this layer. It's not the same kind of thing. You can't change it like you can change a font if you have erased it. So in this case, if you want to be able to still change the font, you want to still be able to like make it italic, you change the size, do all those lovely font things, do them while it's still a font layer. But once you're happy with it, if you want to do something like erase, let's grab our eraser. You'll notice I can't. I'm not allowed to. It says you're not allowed to use this tool on this layer. If I change layers down here to layer 1, okay, I've got my eraser. But when I'm in Winter Festival, I can't use it. But if I want to make the edge of Winter Festival kind of fuzzy, how do I do that? Well, what you want to do is you want to make it, force it to be a raster layer. Say, I'm done using it as a text layer, I want to rasterize it. So if you go up to your layer, you can force it to be a raster layer by going down to where it says rasterize. And here, it knows that it's a type layer, so it gives you the option to rasterize this type. It will also allow you to rasterize all your layers if you so choose, but do so with caution, because again, you won't be able to edit the other ones anymore. So go ahead and hit type. Now you'll notice, one, this no longer has a T. It now looks like the grid, and it shows what the Winter Festival looks like. And I suddenly have my eraser available to me. You can see it's still set to the last setting I had, which was to have it erase 50%, and it's very fuzzy and very large. I'm going to use my little drop downs at the top. I want to make it smaller. I want it to be a little bit closer to the size of the text here. I still want it to be fuzzy though, not hard. I want it to have the edge be quite soft, and you can see the example here. I want it to be 100% now to get rid of the edge. And so I'm going to then go, and as you can see, I can kind of take the edge off here. If we want it to be steam, we probably don't want it to be 100% regular, that edge. We don't want it to be totally straight, because steam isn't regular like that. Again, like when we get in here, you kind of want it to maybe take both edges. Have to be kind of equal. So I could go through and take the edge off of Winter Festival and have it start to look a little bit like my steam's coming through. Again, gotta be maybe a little bit careful here. You don't totally take out the edge. You might need to make your eraser a little bit smaller in areas. And you can do that again, come up to the top here. I can make it smaller because I want to get into here, but I don't want to have it totally be gone. I made that, but you can see that it's a little bit harder. So maybe I only want to use that in certain locations where I know that it's very tight. And then I'll go back up to my larger get the majority of my piece here. Oops, I don't like that. So again, you can always edit, undo. Go in and kind of making this guy look a little bit like steam is eating away at it, and it's a little bit fuzzy. Let's see, miss a spot there. So you can get the idea that you can do this. You can do all kinds of things now that you're in the you've rasterized your layer, so you can use all of the tools that you originally couldn't use on it. So that's just to give you an idea of what you could do if you wanted to playing with your type once it's rasterized.